kitchen video. Okay, let's have a conversation about something that I feel it's probably overdue for me to have. And I know that a lot of people will have these videos and talk about things and discuss it. Hold on just 1 second here. Let's have the conversation about these. Okay? Now, you're probably wondering why I'm showing this, and it's because we need to have a conversation about amps, modelers, digital type amps, or floor pedals, whatever, solid state tube, the whole 9 yards. Now, I know this video's backwards, but this is like the best way I can do this. This is my orange Micro Terror, voice of the world. In my humble and personal opinion, because I'm very fucking biased, orange amps are the best amps on the fucking planet. Now, I know for a fact that my guitar player, Roy, will tell me that, nope, you're wrong, that's using Kettner. Listen, we all have personal experience, personal preferences. One of my best friends, Ryan, same thing. Again, he thinks using Kettner probably are. Personal bias. Everybody has their personal biases about every different one. I'm biased to orange because I love the sounds that when you hook it up to specific pedals and you use it and you tune down to a certain tuning and all that, you can get a you get some of the best Doom, Stoner, and Sludge tones out of these. Can you get it out of a Marshall? Yes. Cathedral is one. Because Gaz Jennings used a Marshall JCM 800 along with an SG tuned to C standard and also into B at some stages. And mostly I think it was due to Forest of Equilibrium. So I'm super biased, okay, towards orange amps because I have a deep love for Matt Pike. Kirk Winstein, he used them briefly, but I'll get to him. And Pepper Keenan from Corrosion and Conformity. But I just like orange amps because of the very first time I ever saw them was during the Iron Man video from Black Sabbath. That was my first experience. I know Tony played at Laney amps. That was my first experience. I saw them on the Sabbath video and I haven't looked back. Do I like Marshall amps? Sure do. I like many different amp companies. I think what they do are great. I'm heavily biased towards these because I just find that what this is able to do with the right pedals is actually pretty mind-blowing. And to be honest with you, looking at this guy in the back here, my little tube preamp and this little solid state head, that's where my volume was to jam in the basement. It's loud, okay? I got the tone usually around here. I usually put it up and around, I usually have it up about here, but I only had it around here last time, and I had the gain at just past 12 o'clock, almost 1 o'clock. To be honest with you, a little 20 watt fucking amp head made in China is actually not half bad. Now, I know that they're a London, England brand. I'm very well aware of that. You could pretty much get those ones if you go with like the bigger heads. Now, talking about amplifiers and what different amps do for different people. First of all, let's look at tube heads. We all know that just about every thrash metal band or most death metal bands and a lot of the Doom and Stoner and Sludge bands use tube heads. They're a warmer sound, they're a louder sound, and you get far more headroom when you start getting into some of the tube heads. You don't always need to have a 100 watt head. And to be honest with you, before I get too deep, in this day and age, and the way things are mic'd up and how, if you run this through a 4x12 cabinet, you're going to get everything that you need. You don't even need to have it up past 2. And it's going to be deafeningly loud in a club. Despite what a lot of people will tell you, you don't need to have these massive 100 watt tube heads or the 100 watt solid state heads or whatever. If you have it, that's killer. I'm going to love you even more. You don't need to have it though. If you're a young kid that's like, man, I need to get a 100-watt tube head to sound like Metallica or to sound like Matt Pike. No, you don't. Not at all. I think Matt Pike I think he's definitely got all tube heads. And I know the Dual Dark 100 is one of his favorites, and I think he has one Dual Dark 50 within his rig, and that's fine, especially for sleep. I know he uses the SLO 100s in High on Fire. He also has his Orange, of course, but he's got like a massive setup. When it comes down to it, if it's down to this, I would suggest go solid state. And again, this is the size of my hand. It fits in my hand. And this thing is ungodly loud. I had it, the last time I really put it through its paces, that's where I had it, and I had to turn down, okay? Because if I had it up any louder, I was probably going to blow out windows. And I know that's funny because I know I know Roy's got a Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit, and that's all well and good. And again, I'm not even shitting on I'm not shitting on his rig. I'm not shitting on anybody's rig. The main conversation here is, going forward, are we going to see less of these and more of the Tone X's and the Quad Cortexes and, you know, these Black Spirit floor pedal board amps kind of thing, or the Victory? I think it's the V4 that they just put out, or they've got out, and that's basically a pedal amp. You can plug it in, you can use it as a power amp, you can use it for like a Helix or whatever, you can use it as the guitar amplifier, and it's got all these IR things. I'm not a genius or an expert when it comes to amplifiers. Let's make no bones about it. What I do roughly know is what I like in terms of brands. I like Orange and what they do. Would I love to have a Rockerverb 50? 100%. I'd love to have a Rockerverb 100. Not in my house, because I live in a townhouse and I blow the fucking windows out of it. Also, I don't have $3,000 or $4,000 to drop on a new amp head. And, well, in the economy we live in, ta-da, we're lucky if we can afford gas. And again, I'm Canadian too, so it's if I'm getting something from the UK, it's going to cost me double. Anything from the States is going to cost me double plus whatever else. I'm not saying that I have a hard time getting amps. I mean, I could walk into Long McQuaid tomorrow and pick out whatever amp I want and buy it. It just comes down to money and what I want. If I really wanted to go with a lot of watts, I can go and just get a Super Crush 100 from Orange, and it's like $800. Or I could go on to Gear Hunter, and I think the last I saw, there was an OR15 for like 600 or 650. That's foolish. Those things are over 1,000 new, which is great. And I'm glad that I can go on and I can just look at their inventory and be like, oh, hey, I see this. I have the cash for it. Let me have a, can you transfer that down to St. John and I'll pick it up? Or, hey, I'm going to be in Ontario in the end of June. Can you have it there and I'll pick it up? Or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with it. What I do have this is more of a question. And this is where there's a part of me that hates AI. It's depressingly hates AI. And the other side of me it still hates it, but I'm asking this to all of you who use digital modeling, like the Quad Cortexes, the Tone X's. I'm not here to say that what you have is terrible because it uses artificial intelligence to capture a sound. And people are making music using that, so it's kind of like, but I mean, I know it's actual humans. Like my buddies in Elevate the Virus, that's pretty much what they use. I think Justin still uses actual amps and cabs setup. Because I believe I think he runs an Orange now, or an Orange cabinet, one of the two. I know Roy and Ryan are going to stick with, their their heads, their actual amp heads, and their pedals and stuff. I'm a guy that likes air. Okay, I like air. My biggest question to the guys and gals who use digital, and do you? And again, I'm not even. This is not like really a rant. This is kind of like a thing. Like, can you justify? How do you justify using the digital platforms versus a regular amp? Is it a money situation? I mean, I know the Quad Cortex is about 1,800 Canadian. I think, anyways. I know guys use Kempers and whatever. I think Kemper's overrated. Whatever. Axe-FX's, all these different modeling things. And I know that Kirk Winstein from Crowbar. Look, I love Crowbar. Okay, I think Crowbar is probably one of my favorite bands. And is slowly starting to become that over the last couple of years. It's not one of those, hey, they're my favorite band. They just became my favorite band. I've got other favorites, but Crowbar has become a big thing for me. And now those guys are using Quad Cortexes when legitimately they used Randall, Kirk used Randall, then Marshall, then Orange, then Randall again. Now he's using Quad Cortex because he can basically capture his old tones from his old Randalls and his Marshalls and his Oranges. He can capture all that through, IRs and all of that jazz. Like I said, I'm not that smart when it comes to this stuff. I'm so... look, caveman. Unga bunga doom stoner sludge riffs, okay? What I want to know, and this is more of a let's have a discussion about this thing, because, again, I'm not that smart. I have to know this. I'm one of these guys, like I said, who really hates AI. And these modelers and things use AI to capture these other heads. And I'm not against it. I'm not against the digital idea because I understand what it provides. The AI thing's always been a concern for me because it's like, I'm not going to say that if you guys say, oh no, that's totally fine because you're just going to run out and, you can run out and just get all these extra tones. And that's cool. I'm not a tone chaser, number one. Okay, I'm not. Listen, I have a Super Fuzz 300 downstairs. Okay, you're not chasing a tone with that unless you're looking for like the Monolord Electric Wizard type of tone, and even then, it's just a setting, and then you set it and you leave it. I'm looking for a tone here, guys. That's legitimately, to my buddy Ryan, is like it makes it. Every time he literally said, every time I hear that sound, my ears just want to vomit. And I'm like, well, that's okay. He's like, I just like clean and balanced tones. Well, brother, that's fine. I mean, I get it. Then again, you wouldn't know good taste in fucking doom bands if it kicked you in the ass. And he's gonna watch this and be like, you're such a fucking dick. And again, that's all well and good. Like people don't have to like anything. You know what I mean? But I guess my whole point is if you're someone that loves going to doom, stoner, and sludge shows, are you going to be upset if you see someone rocking a Quad Cortex or a Tone X pedal or a Kemper or an Axe-FX or any one of these or Valvetons, or are you going to be upset if you see something like that at a show and when they start playing, it's like Crowbar, it's Monolord, it's big, filthy tones, right? Are you going to be upset? Because honestly, when it gets right down to it, if I'm going to a show, like, there are some bands that are just like, no, we are straight tube, we are straight crushing heavy amplifiers, tube amplifiers, solid state, I guess, if they had to, but like, and I guess when I saw that Kirk was using a neural, the whole Quad Cortex thing, I was like, man, that dude's whole tone is based off of a fucking solid state Randall. Because he got it from Dime and everything sounded... But when you watch and you see clips on YouTube and you listen to it through fucking headphones or whatever, or I can guarantee you the people that are going to that show are like, it's Crowbar, it's that low-tuned B standard... No pedals for Kirk, maybe one for Matt. I don't even think Matt runs one. I think because he just uses his Cortex and stuff. And Pat Bruder's just plays through this beautiful fucking amp cab, which just baffles my brain. And the thing is, it's like they still sound like Crowbar. There's no difference. And Kirk's not even, and the last rig rundown that I just watched from them, like 15 times over, even though I really sort of didn't semi-pay attention. The whole thing is that they still sound like Crowbar. And Kirk has the ability to set up an orange rig in his quad Cortex. And he's using a Fireball from Angle. And he still sounds like Kirk. So I guess at the end of the day, I want to have a conversation with people in the comments. I want to see comments where they're like, man, I think you're just being an idiot and you just don't worry about what you buy if it's digital or whatever. Like, because yeah, artificial intelligence is a bad thing. Like, people are using that to make music. I'm not using it to make music, because once I get my Jackson back and I start playing riffs, you're gonna be like, oh my god, maybe he should use AI. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, at the end of the day, like, I paid $100 for this. I paid $100 for this thing. I paid $400 for my cabinet, and it's a Marshall Mode 4 oversized 4x12 cab. Plug anything into that, and I'm gonna make the most horrific sounds. Period. I do want to get more pedals, and I'm hoping that, and I'm really holding off on all that because I know when I get to like Niagara and Cornwall and. Not Niagara, but I know when I get to Toronto, there's 2 Long McQuades there. I know there's Long McQuades on the way up. I'm going into Edmonton. There might even be one close by there. I might go there just for shits and giggles. Like, I'm gonna do the guitar shop thing on the way through because that's how pathetic I am. I know when I get to Toronto, I'm gonna take my kid to see some hockey stuff because, you know, that's fun for her and I. But my main goal is to enjoy being away for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then guitar shops because I like guitar shops. And like, that's the thing, like, do I want to upgrade this and get something bigger? Yeah. Not getting rid of it. This is my first orange I've ever bought. Like, to me, this is unreal. And I just found out from, Thomas Jaeger, that he posted a thing on his Instagram saying that he just got a little, a Philips mini watt tube. Which basically, because it looks like he's got the micro dark, and he was playing through that, and it just, when he's playing through it, it sounds godly, because it's Thomas, and he's in Monolord, and he plays, you know, an OR120 and an OR100, like that's what that guy plays for live, and he just sounds amazing. The biggest thing is for me is, I really don't even get mad when people have digital rigs because I'm always intrigued by it. But I guess the thing is for me is it's the whole AI thing where it's like, they use that. But I suppose it's probably the only real way that they can do that because you got to put a prompt in, you got to do this and this and that, and then you press click and you capture it and all that stuff. So it's probably me less whiny about that than anything, but. Does it bother you if you go to a show and you know you're seeing a band like Crowbar and you know or you find out that they're using quad cortexes? Does that bother you when you think they should be using heads? Do I want a tube head? Yeah, again, I want one badly, but... And I'm probably rambling and you're probably like, dude, get to the friggin' point. Does this all bother you? At the end of the day, does it all bother you? Let's have a conversation in the comments because now we're getting close to an almost 20-minute video here. But hey, let's have a conversation. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me what you rolled, or tell me what you run. Tell me what you play for music. What's your style? What you do? What your pedals? I want to hear what you got. And eventually you're going to see some more videos from me. But like I said, I still got to wait my guitars in the shop. And I'm hoping that when I go get it out, it doesn't cost me a whole lot of money. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Anywho, I will see you guys all later. Go Orange Amps.